All right, all right, all right. Hello, hello, everybody out there in here. What's going on with you? What's going on with you? My name is Kami Nakomi, as always, of course. I'm back for a great episode. Doing some more entertainment reviews. Of course, I am back here, Kami Nakomi world. And this is your perfect one-stop shop for entertainment and sports, information and reviews. And today I'm going to be joined by my brother from the same mother, of course, Jew Jams, back again
From the same mother.
from the same mother. What's going on with you, Jew
I know that's
Jams?
right. Everything is good. Everything is good. Beautiful start to a great year. I didn't know if they was going to get it done, but they got it done. So it's going to make the new year start off really good.
Absolutely.
I'm just enjoying it. My Colts is out. It's all to the G. We still got the Knicks, and we still enjoying the year. But this.
I mean, there's always the Knicks.
But this right here make it all to the G right here.
All worthwhile. Makes it all worthwhile, man. I'm telling you right now, man. Listen, this is my, as I said, this is my brother. And me and my siblings have always been huge Game of Thrones fans. I mean, huge Game of Thrones fans. Like after the seasons, after the episodes, we used to call each other and talk for hours, basically about episodes that we saw of Game of Thrones all the way through to the end of the season. Big Game of Thrones fans. You see, I got my mug out with some good wine.
Love it.
I got some good wine.
Love it. Love it.
To drink for this honorable episode of the first episode of the A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, a Game of Thrones story. I think that's actually the original, the actual show title is a Night of the Seven Kingdoms, a Game of Thrones story. I think I heard that's basically what they're how they're referring to it basically. But hey, I'm here for it. Of course, big Game of Thrones fans, like we said. We've been through a lot of the lore. We talk about a lot of the lore. We share some of our favorite quotes all the time in the text in the group chat, in the siblings group chat. You know what I mean? So we couldn't wait for when this season was coming out, this show was coming out, and my brother was just like, "Yo, you want to do it?" I was just like, "Yo, I'm so glad you said that, bro." Because I mean, I've been wanting to do Game of Thrones reviews since back when Game of Thrones was out. So I'm so happy to be doing this.
Indeed.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, hell, he basically was actually putting me on to a lot of the background information of the Hedge Knight, Sir Duncan the Tall, basically. And of course, I've heard about, Sir Duncan the Tall, Duncan Egg, the Duncan Egg stories from before Game of Thrones was finished. And when they said they were coming out with a show, I couldn't wait for it. Because I mean, of course, House of Dragons is something that we've been watching also and getting into, and that's good. It's cool. But this is I'm glad that they came out with this show. It's a lighter hearted story instead of all the blood and fire.
And I'm gonna tell you, right, because when the Game of Thrones was still rolling, I'm thinking it was probably season 6 or 7. I teach high school, and one of my high school kids, one of my bookworms, just really is a Game of Thrones kind of guy. He came up to me and said, "Hey, Coach James, I know you're a big Game of Thrones guy. Are you ready for the Duncan Egg story?" And I'm thinking this is like, what's this, 2026? This might have been 2021 or something like that, to that effect. And he said, "Yeah, the Duncan and Egg story is going to be awesome." I'm like, the Duncan and Egg story, and then because I'm excited more about. I want to hear about the Dance of the Dragons. I heard that the House of the Dragons coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's gonna be super, super duper awesome. As far as all those other scenarios of how the Game of Thrones should have ended, correct?
Right.
So the House of the Dragons come out. And I'm gonna say it right here. It's a bit of a disappointment that they're starting another spinoff while the first spinoff is long overdue. to finish to wrap this thing. It's not like we don't know what's going to happen. Everybody knows.
I mean, which one you talking about? There's so many spinoffs. I did actually, funny enough, just this morning I was looking at a video that was talking about an article from George R.R. Martin, where he was saying that several things. He was saying that he is still planning on finishing Winds of Winter and what is it called? Memory of Spring. Is that the name of the last one supposed to be? Something like that. He's still planning on doing it, and those endings are probably going to have different endings from the show. So he's just like bump the show. He's really anti D&D and how they ended Game of Thrones. He's really feels some type of way about it.
And I'm with him. And I'm
absolutely with him because we were book read. We read the books. You know what I'm saying? We got through the first 5 books. So from where the book trajectory was going, that was definitely a disappointment. It could have been a lot bigger, a lot better, ended better. But besides that, you had the possible spinoff of Jon Snow going above the wall. You had Arya Stark going west to find out what's west of Westeros. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody knows what's west of Westeros.
Nobody knows what's west of Westeros, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you had all those spinoffs, and they're just like, yeah, we're gonna have spinoff. And next thing you know, they're just like, nah, we ain't gonna do that. And I'm just like, y'all killing us right now, bro. And so they're not, no, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna come up with the what is that? What was the name of that show? That book, Blood, Fire and Blood. Is that the name of the book for the game of the Dance of Dragons? House of Dragon, for the House of the Dragon. It's, I guess I can't remember. I think it comes from the books, the book series, the book Fire and Blood or something like that, basically.
Correct.
So they came up with that, and I was like, all right, cool. Let's see what that's about. And it was cool.
It was great. It was great that it was, those 2 seasons, but goddamn, finish the show.
and then they do a Game of Thrones and decide to be like, yo, so we're gonna be about a year before we get another one. And so before they even come out with a 3rd season for that,
where they do that at? Where they do that at? Just like it's the cinema.
Man, like we
still waiting for the next Avenger.
Still waiting for it, son. Still waiting for it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's playing with my emotions.
But I must say, I'm happy for the House of Dragons. They did a great job thus far. I'll say thus far.
Thus far.
It'll be wonderful if they just, find a way to finish the thing off, because we're just so amped for all of the major battles that still have not taken place in the whole Dance of Dragons, the battle above the God's Eye, and just to watch the whole finish.
What's the name?
Everybody want to see Torrance Stark one more time.
Right, exactly. Exactly. That's another spinoff I could have swear I heard about. Basically, they were going to talk about the Stark, the head of House Stark during that time, because he was going through his own issues. You know what I'm saying? Up there, up in the north. And so it's just like, you know what? They're gonna just dole out whatever they could give us when they could give it to us, and I'm just like, all right, whatever. But I'm glad that they came out with with this new show, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I got to keep on remembering that's the name of the show. A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, man. I was looking forward to it. I know that it's basically comes from 3 novellas from George R.R. Martin. The 3 novellas are named. Go ahead with the names if you have the names. I'm gonna find it.
So the first one is The Hedge Knight.
Yep, The Hedge Knight is the first one. That's basically what they're going to be covering this season.
Correct, and then that's what I heard that each book is going to be represented in each season, which is cool because they already sounded good. So you got the Hedge Knight, then you got the Sworn Sword. And then you have the Mystery Knight. Yep. And so
another my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off. No, another thing I heard about in that article from George R.R. Martin is that he's actually working on more novellas from the Dunk and Egg series to fill out more seasons. So there's going to be more than 3 seasons apparently. So they're going to
from his own mouth he said 10 to 12.
10 to 12. That's
10 to
madness.
12.
That's
George,
madness.
George, you off the chain, my boy. And I get it. As long as your mind's still good, you can still write. So,
I guess
that's
so.
one thing I will say about the elderly. They can keep rolling forever. Because as long as the mind is good, they're gonna let it roll.
Like our dad. What is he on his our dad? What is he on his 5th book?
and great storytellers. Great storytellers.
Great storytelling, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, hey, and that, the more experience you have through life, you basically learn different things and you're able to apply it to different narratives and stuff like that. So hey, George, whatever you got, man, come on and dole that out. I mean, don't
let
feel
it
like
roll. Let's all be love.
You know what I'm saying? Don't feel rushed by these people. You know what I'm saying? We know what's good, George. We know
we
what's
already
good.
know.
We already know what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
We already know.
Yeah, so we're gonna review each episode of the I'm just gonna call it for short, the Dunk and Egg series, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. We're gonna review each episode.
I like that.
As it comes out, and it's actually a lot easier because of the fact that as you told me, I didn't even know it was gonna be that short. The episode was pretty short. What was it? Maybe say 38, 40 minutes. Something like that, basically. And so if they I mean, and the fact that it's from novellas, I could see it not needing to be whole hour episodes. So these should be some really good episodes for us to go ahead and review. And I'm gonna say it also too, guys out there. I already wrote my first review for another series that just came out. I'm a big Star Trek fan, and Star Trek, Starfleet Academy just came out, so I'm gonna be reviewing those too. So look out for that for those episodes of my Starfleet Academy reviews. But we're gonna get into this Dunk and Egg, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms review for the first episode. I thought it was a good episode. Overall, did you think it was a good episode?
Absolutely. Did not disappoint. Did not disappoint whatsoever.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited for some, and then actually, I like how they did a little bit of both, because it's not going to be an action-packed, typical Game of Thrones type cinema. Mm-hmm. And because it's not as action-packed, they narrowed it down to just 30 minutes, which means that every second is important.
All the dialogue's important.
And if you blink twice, you're gonna miss it.
Completely. It took me so long just to review it, just because I was rewinding just to basically catch dialogue, because it was a good amount of information packed into 30 minutes, and it didn't feel like it was overwhelmed and trying to shove too much into 30 minutes. It felt like it was good and it was spread out, but it didn't feel like it was spread out real long and wide, for no reason at all. So it was really good. I really appreciated it. The comedy, the Westerosi-ness of it all, basically the knights and the joy and merriment that they have around tournaments, basically, you know what I'm saying? The food, the wine, the women, the machismo of it all, basically, with the knights, and the different things about it just really was good. But let's go ahead and get into the beginning of the show and just gonna go through the episode. Please let me just go ahead, interject whenever you feel like it, Jams. I just have like a brief overview of the show. So
let's get it.
So the episode starts off on a hillside. It looks like they're probably along a road on a hillside next to a tree, and you have a really tall gentleman. They don't introduce him immediately from the beginning. He doesn't exactly give himself a name for a while in the show, and he's digging a hole, and then obviously you see him lift the body and place the body in a shallow grave. And I mean, it's obviously the show is called Dunk and Egg. It's about a kid. He probably doesn't look like he's more than 19 years old. He looks like a young kid.
Well, by the time, but what's going on is, they kind of fast forwarded. I'm assuming that the way the show is going, they're gonna flash back to his childhood
They
and
did.
whatever.
They are.
But he is ultimately he's an orphan,
Yep.
and he's an extremely large orphan, and then he's taken in by the Hedge Knight himself, and I think it's Alistair from it's a house in the Reach is where
the knight's name is Sir Arlen Pennytree.
Pennytree. He's from Pennytree.
Yes,
correct.
His name, the knight's name is Alistair. I'm sorry, Arlen Pennytree. He takes Dunk in. His name is Dunk.
Right.
For some reason, and basically he takes him in. He was a orphan in Flea Bottom from King's Landing, and he basically gets taken in by this knight to become his squire.
Mm-hmm.
And they start traveling around, and he basically teaches, as being a squire.
They don't exactly say that he's 7 feet tall, but they say he's close to 7 feet tall, which is damn near very tall in the ghetto.
Very tall. Period.
You be spotted.
He stands out. He's He's easily a shoulder above everybody. And as he walks through doors, he hits his head every single time on the top of the door frame. So you can see that the dude is basically, most places are not made for guys his height.
Correct.
Plain and simple. So he was taken in by this knight. He's been traveling around, learning whatever he can from this knight. And the knight eventually, go ahead.
Real quick, I just want to make sure that the audience understands who Sir Arlington Pennytree is. He is a hedge knight.
Right.
And a hedge knight is a little different from a regular knight, because a regular knight, they belong to a house. They fight in a certain lord or king's army, right, and they belong to that house, right? Just like
they're sworn to that house.
Sir Jaime Lannister of House Lannister, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a knight, but he's a knight of House Lannister.
Gregor and Sandor Clegane, who are sworn to the Lannisters.
Indeed.
Right.
And so, but he is a hedge knight. So a hedge knight, they're not necessarily sworn to any particular house. They roam the countryside, and basically they're a more upscaled sellsword.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're more
actual, not just a knight, not just a sellsword who is just a guy with a sword who basically can fight and whatever. They haven't been actually sworn in with a sword by another knight to make oaths and promises that they will uphold the right things for the realm and to be honorable. They're just guys who basically sell their sword to the highest bidder. A hedge knight is a guy who has been sworn in as a knight, but is not sworn specifically to and to serve any specific lord. And they go around and assist where they can for probably a monetary fee.
And they probably make most of their money during war. So if there's no war going on,
exactly, they make their money at tourneys. Exactly.
And because they're freelancing, they normally end up sleeping out in the wilderness underneath trees and hedges.
Hence hedge knight. Exactly. Hence hedge knight. You know what I'm saying? If you wasn't a hedge knight, if you were a real knight, you would have a pavilion or a tent and servants traveling with you, a retinue or whatever, basically to go along with you. But hedge knights are more so rugged, a little bit more, they go across the land, and help out wherever they can. As Sir Arlen Pennytree was one of those knights. He, sir, as we found out during this show, he actually was helping. What's this dude's name? He actually like he used to help. He was helping somebody from the Dondarrion. One of the families that he was helping before was a Dondarrion family. Beric Dondarrion is a name that you should know from Game of Thrones. Was brought back 6 times by the Lord of Light basically. So
Correct.
and also this is a good thing to point out at the beginning of the series. This actually takes place 90 years before Game of Thrones takes
100
place.
years.
Pretty much 100 years before.
But 90 to be exact.
90 is the 90 is what they quoted, that basically it's 90 years before the events of the Game of Thrones takes place. So, you know, all the different players, the different houses are around the Baratheons, the Dondarrions, you know, of course the Targaryens. They're all basically and around during, you know, the Targaryens is definitely there. You know what I mean? So, but this guy he was serving a hedge knight, who is Sir Arlen Pennytree, and Sir Arlen dies. So Dunk, saddened, of course, by the death of this guy who pretty much raised him since he was a kid, he goes ahead and buries the man near a tree. You know, go ahead.
Hey, one thing just to drop, you know, as a you know, just a little backstory. He not only took Dunk in as an orphan and made him, you know, let him be a squire. He told him he couldn't really offer nothing because he's a hedge knight. So he was like, look, I could teach you how to fight. I could teach you how to ride. And I could teach you everything about being a knight. And that's what he poured into him. Just the principles of being a true knight. And
exactly. Very good thing to point out.
Like,
yes.
When you got a guy like that who don't have nothing to lose, the only thing he has to lose is his honor. Exactly.
So your honor is something that's very, very important to you, especially if you hold yourself up as a good and honorable hedge knight. Because of course you have, you know, quote unquote bad knights that's out there who, you know, are dishonorable, turn into sell swords themselves, or, you know, or dishonored, kind of like Jorah Mormont, who had to go and, you know, go on a run over in Essos. Or
in the words of Sandor Clegane, you haven't met my brother.
Yeah, met my brother. Exactly. Honorable knights. So, you know, our honorable knights. You haven't met my brother. Yeah,
my brother.
There's nothing honorable about the mountain. There's nothing honorable about the mountain.
So he buries him under the tree.
Buries him under the tree, and he you know, says some words, and he decides to keep. He was thinking about burying his sword with him, but he said this is going to stay there and get rusted. So I mean, what's the sense of, you know, maybe put some use to it. So he decides to keep his sword and his 3 horses that he basically
3 horses. I was blown away by that. I just realized they had 3 horses. I'm like, wow.
Which makes sense. Each of them had a horse, and they probably had 1 pack horse, basically. And he was saying, hey, if I sold these 3 horses, I could probably eat really good for at least a year. You know what I'm saying? Or it was 3 years. I can't remember what it was he said, basically. But he was like, if I sell these horses, I could probably eat real well. But he decides to keep the horses and, you know, goes on his way to say, and he says that basically he thinks that there's he was thinking about what he's going to do with himself, and he's just like, he could go back to King's Landing or Lannisport and, you know, join the City Watch or whatever like that, but he decides to go on to a city where he knows that there's going to be a tournament called Ashford Meadow.
And one thing I realized that they didn't mention is the fact of, in the books, Sir, I want to make sure I'm pronouncing his name right. Sir Arlington was his name?
Arlen, Arlan.
Sir Arlen
Pennytree.
He was actually, him and Dunk was on their way to that tournament.
Oh, okay.
In the books. He was taking Dunk to that tournament. So when he died, he died on the way to that tournament anyway.
Got you. So that's how Dunk know about it.
He was trying to figure out what he was going to do, whatever. He figured he'd just keep on going. This is where he wanted to go to begin with. I can make some money.
Exactly. I can make some money and then basically just keep on living like a hedge knight. So even though he wasn't officially sworn in by Sir Arlen, he decides to take up the the
allegedly.
Yeah, it was never. He says that it happened, but it never happened on screen. And so there's no specific. There was or in the books, but there's never. So, but he basically holds himself to say that yes, that's what happened. That basically on his deathbed, Arlen told him to go get his sword and swore him in as a knight. So, but if that's a story that he tells himself, and what he decides to uphold, who's to tell him any different? Go ahead and do your thing, young man.
Do you, boo?
Roll. What do you call it? Roll on, young man, rumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Plain and simple, bro. So,
Hey, I'm an orphan. The only dude who took me in just died, and he's the only one who knows me.
What do I got to lose?
I got nothing to lose.
What do I got to lose?
I got nothing to lose. I ain't mad at him, man.
Get money, don't make nutty, baby.
Get money, don't make
Brooklyn style. Brooklyn style, baby. So he goes, he basically, heads off on the road with the sword, and the 3 horses, and he comes upon a young bald boy at the edge of a village, as on his way to Ashford. And a boy meets him at the gate, basically, and he asks him, he asks him to take his horses to the stable. He thinks he's a stable boy, so he says, "Hey, take my horses to the stable, get them some oats, rub this one down. I'm gonna head up to the inn." And the boy's a little sassy. You know what I'm saying? He gives him lip. And he threatens him like pretty much like how Sir Arlen threatened him, like I'm gonna cuff you in the air or whatever like that, basically. And so, but the kid basically ain't afraid. He's just like, you don't look like a knight. he's like, are you a knight? You don't look like a knight. It is what it is, bro. But so, he goes on, he gives his horses to the guy and to the kid, and the kid is bald, by the way, also stands out a little bit. Little tiny kid, you know what I'm saying, wearing a cloak or like that, but he's absolutely bald.
Not a lot of bald kids running around the world, period.
Not a lot of bald kids running around the world. I mean, I don't want to say anything that's insensitive, basically, but it is
what it is.
It is what it is. So, but he goes on to the tavern, enters the tavern is pretty much almost empty. It's pretty much late at night. There's a couple of guys passed out in the room. And one dude pretty much kind of wakes up, comes up out of his stupor, and he says to him that he dreamt of him, and he says for him to stay away from him before going upstairs to retire for the night, basically. And that's catches him kind of catches Dunk off guard a little bit, basically, but he pays no attention to it. And the innkeeper's just like, whatever. She's like drinking the last of the wine in the last cup, pouring a new glass and giving it to him. Basically, what do you want to eat? All right, cool. I'm gonna get you whatever you need. Go ahead and sit down. I'll take care of you. You know what I mean? And so a little bit later, he goes to the stable, and he finds the little boy, and the little boy is pretty much like in full, soldier's dress, pretty much sitting on top of one of the horses. I think the horse name was Thunder, which is a war horse. And he was just like, "Are you crazy? You could get killed. Like that horse could kick you and kill you, pretty much." And so he basically asks Dunk if he could be a squire. And Dunk is just like, "Get out of here, kid. You bother me." You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't want a squire. I don't need a squire. You know what I'm saying? So he refuses.
Now we need to make sure we make a special note of the gentleman that was in the inn that was passed out drunk and that went upstairs and went to sleep.
Let's go back. Let's go back a little bit. Go ahead with that.
Right. Now, spoiler alert. I mean, it's no secret who Egg is. Egg is a Targaryen.
Aegon Targaryen.
Okay. Now, how the hell did he get out there at no freaking inn in the middle of nowhere where Dunk runs into him, right? The guy that was asleep, his name was Daeron Targaryen. He's the oldest son of Maegor Targaryen,
which is Egg's father.
Egg, yeah, and that makes him Egg's oldest brother.
Yep.
Basically, Maegor wanted Darion to go joust in the 20, but Darion don't give a damn about no 20s.
Nope.
He's a rich spoiled brat, the oldest son.
Just wants to drink and get drunk.
So he just goes off. They call him the drunken, and he goes off but Magog sends Egg to be Darion's squire.
Right.
But Darion don't want to go do no fighting, so he takes Egg with him to the end and cuts off all of Egg's hair to disguise his Targaryen heritage.
Exactly, because the Targaryens pretty much have
the end.
Exactly, because Targaryens have this white platinum blonde hair. Pretty much, they usually stand out. I mean, in the books, they have different color eyes, also like a pinkish purple kind of color eyes. But you know, just to disguise who he is, he basically cuts off his hair. So that's how you just get this bald kid out in the middle of nowhere. You know, who's just a little bit sharper tongue, you know, and, you know, just trying to become somebody's squire, because that's what he wanted to do. But his brother didn't want to do it. So he's just like, you know what, I'll squire for whoever wants a squire. But Duncan's just like, no, I don't need a squire. So he decides to ride off in the middle of the night and leaves Egg there. He throws a coin to Egg basically, and he's just like, yeah, I know you're sulking right now, but you can pick up the coin when I leave. And I'm thinking to myself, like, he didn't pick up that coin. He didn't pick up that coin. He didn't pick up that coin. He looked at that coin in disdain, like, man, that coin's not even gold, man. I'm good. I don't need that coin.
Yo, here we go.
What's that, a token? What is that, a New York City token?
Hey, throughout this show, I'm going to call Deja Vu, and I want you to tell me, where did you see that moment in another episode of Game of Thrones? Deja Vu, the coin toss.
Oh, coin toss? I mean, it's a couple. I mean, off the top of my head, first one basically is one that I will just, because I'm in the middle of a Game of Thrones rewatch. I'm in season 4. We just had the Purple Wedding. You know, Sansa's in the Vale, and you know Tyrion's hoping to find a champion to fight for him. But I remember just a couple of episodes ago, Arya pulled out the Bravasi coin and basically you know, offered it to the dude who did her wrong in the past, and basically threw the, you know, kind of flipped the coin to him and dropped it on the floor. That's one coin that basically stands out in my mind from Game of Thrones. Which one you have in your mind?
When the slaver caught Tyrion and Jorah Mormont, and put them in chains and bought them from the slaver at the auction, and he flipped the coin to him and said, "This should last you for the rest of your life." And Tyrion looked at the coin like, "Bro, I'm trying to be free. I don't give a damn about no freaking coin. Who are you talking to?"
What's this, a peso? Come on, son. Come on, son. What's this gonna do for me? Not my life. This ain't gonna last my life. Not the life I lived. It ain't gonna last that long. Hey, before we go on any further though, please go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe to the video if you haven't done so before, man. We're gonna be giving you some really great content. My brother Jew Jams and me here, call me Nakomi. Like the video if you haven't done so already. Just go ahead and press the like button. I mean, hey, it's not gonna take you too much time at all. Go drop a comment in the live chat before or after the show is over. Please go ahead. I love talking to people in the comments, and also subscribe if you haven't done so already, so you know. Hit the notification bell too, so you know when I basically drop anything live. So back to the show. Yeah, so basically he rides off by himself into the night, heading for Ashford. Dunk. He takes his three horses and heads for Ashford. And he basically comes across, you know, he comes up towards the tourney, the area where they're all gathering for the tourney. You see tents and pavilions basically set up, big house banners and all kind of stuff like that. And you have a big castle further in on the area. Property, whatever, basically, and he heads for the castle because he needs to register for the tourney. So he goes in and he introduces himself as Sir Dunk, That's basically what he says. He said his name is Dunk, and he said, "Oh, Sir Dunk." And so he said that he used to squire for Arlen Pennytree. The guy asked him, "Hey, are you a knight? Because I mean, you don't smell like a knight, you don't look like a knight, you're not dressed like a knight. You know what I mean? So you can't be having this non-knights up in here. We can't be having no cell swords or whatever like that up in here, or even like hedge knights or like that. Are you sure you're a knight?" And so Dunk is trying to explain, my old master, basically, he taught me all he knows, and before he died, he swore me in as a knight. You know what I mean? He took this sword right here, and the sword actually has a penny in the hilt, basically, of one of the pennies for that night.
I like that. But my problem was this, yo. Why are you pressing my boy Dunk? And you ain't even King's Landing. Ain't like you some big house. I mean, what are we talking about? We're talking about what was the name of the town?
Ashford or Ashwood, Ashford. Yeah, Ashford.
This is a small town in the middle of the Reach.
Bubble, whatever.
It's not High Garden. You know what I mean?
It's not one of the high houses, right?
It's not one of the neighboring like Storm's End, and he pressing him. But then he finally broke down and said, "Look, I ain't tripping."
Right. Because he was just like, "Did anybody witness it?" And he was like, "Yeah, well, it was a bird in the tree." He was like, "Man, listen, stop playing with me. I don't got time for this." He's like, "Listen, I can't be having this any old body up in here. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be princes here. I can't be having this any old body. You know what I'm saying? I got to watch my body because I ain't just anybody." You know what I'm saying? Play it simple. So he's just like, he's like, I listen. He's like, "Has anybody ever witnessed you and your lord?" And he's just like, "Yeah, we fought for the Dondarians, Sir Manford, for the Dondarians, we fought for them last year or whatever like that, and they definitely could vouch for me." And he's like, "All right, well, bring him back tomorrow, and if he vouches for you, you could basically take part in what's the name. And also, just so you know, if you lose everything, like Sonic. Like Sonic get hurt and he loses all his rings. All the rings just fall off, son. So all the rings is gonna fall off, bro. You back out to zero. So you lose your sword, you lose your armor, you lose your horses, and you can get them back if you can pay for them." And he's like, "Damn." He's like, "Do you have the money to pay for him?" He's like, "Nah. I mean, nah. Yeah. I got." He's like,
I don't plan to lose.
I don't plan on losing. I ain't gonna lose.
I ain't need no money.
And the dude's just like, "Yeah, all right. Get out of here and go get out of here and come back in the morning with somebody to vouch for you, bro." He's just like, "Yeah, all right." You know what I'm saying? So he's just like, so he's worried. He's kind of worried, but at the same time, he's just like, "All right, I just got to find somebody to vouch for me, and I'm in."
And didn't he have someone? He had someone that he knew that knew Sir
Arlen.
That knew Sir Arlen. He knew somebody that knew Sir Arlen. He saw their flag.
Yeah, that's a Dondarian. And the guy who was the master of tourneys. That's the guy's title, the master of tourneys. Who has a lot of mucus in there. It was hard to watch. It was hard to watch. But basically, he said, "Oh, Dondarian." He said, "Yeah, Sir Manford is out there. So yeah, if you could bring Sir Manford up, he could vouch for you, no doubt, no problem, and we could just do, and you're good to go." You know what I'm saying? So he's like, "All right." He heads out, and he basically comes across the field where a bunch of knights are training, and there's this one knight that's beating the hell out of his squire that's out there, basically, who kind of tries to goad Dunk to come out there and fight, but Dunk's like, "Nah, I'm good." You know what I'm saying? And so he kind of makes fun of him as a hedge knight. I wasn't sure. I didn't catch that house. I didn't catch the house name, but I see that it was the house sigil was an apple. So I'm not exactly sure which.
So that's that is it starts with the F. Sir but his was a green apple, and he comes from a house who the sigil was a red apple, and they fell out during the first Blackfire Rebellion, because one house, no, that's not what happened. Something was happened, and they ended up splitting, but he was from that house that split. He was a green apple, but the original house was a red apple.
Okay.
That's what happened. I forgot. I want to say Forreston, House Forreston. It starts with an F.
Fossway?
Fossway. That sounds.
Is it Fossway? It could be Fossway. That's the one. I'm looking at the wiki of Westeros. And that's one of the names that they state that they have here, basically.
And that should be in the Reach, correct?
Yeah, it should be the Reach. And that's basically, and that would make sense because later on they go into the Baratheon, the Baratheon tent. So basically, I think Baratheons, I think they were in the Reach. Mm-hmm. They were a part of the Reach, basically. So yeah, so basically,
well, no, the Baratheons are Stormlands.
Oh, Storm. Okay, I don't exactly remember. They were next neighbors. Episode, I'll be able to point out the exact all the houses from. I'm gonna definitely rewatch this episode so I could basically kind of point out a lot of the different houses that's involved in this tournament.
Fun fact, Samuel Tarly, whose dad name is Randall Tarly, that we know from Game of Thrones.
Yep.
He was from the Reach, and he was the first one to, a matter of fact, the only one who beat Robert Baratheon during his rebellion. The Tarly.
Okay. Yeah. The Tarly. Okay, cool. The
Tarly. Randall Tarly, yeah.
Randall Tarly.
And that's why Jamie was trying to win him over to help at the end to be one of his generals when they fight Daenerys.
Randall and Dickon.
Tarly, yes.
Yeah. All right. So
go ahead.
As he walks away, no, it's fine. As he walks away from the training grounds where he's there, they refer to him as a hedge knight, and he just thinks to himself like, "There's nothing wrong with being a hedge knight." Actually, he thinks that hedge knights are the most honorable type of knights because they fight for what they feel is right rather than fighting for whatever a house that they are sworn to decides is a honorable combat situation. They actually fight where they feel they are needed and for what cause that they feel is an honorable cause. So that's why he feels like he doesn't mind being referred to as a hedge knight. So he goes off and he comes to basically okay, yeah. So he goes off with his three. He realizes that all these different places, all these different houses have their pavilions and their tents and everything like that, and he doesn't have that. So he decides to make his camp a little bit out into the woods by himself next to a river. Decides to give himself a little whole bath real quick, to wash off the stench that everybody keeps on saying that he smells or like that. So he leaves two of the horses there and then goes back into the gathering just for the night's festivities. Everybody's drinking and they're having fun and they're eating and stuff like that. He tried to go to before he went off to his camp, he tried to find the Dondarrion lord that he needed to speak to him to vouch for him, but a couple of ladies of the night basically told him that, oh, homeboy's sleeping, he's probably not gonna be up until later on tonight. So he's like, come back later on tonight. So he's like, all right, cool. So he comes back later on and he's walking around, gets him a goblet of wine, and he actually finds inside of one of the pavilions, like a little play that's going on where there is a puppet dragon that actually breathes fire. And I was like, that was pretty cool. I wonder how they actually would have done that, but that makes sense. They had like a little torch in front, so maybe they spit out a little bit of and
it's going to be very significant for the next episode, I think.
Okay, I hope so. It definitely is. It seems so. And also, there was a young lady who was there who was seemed to be basically giving the voice, giving voice to the story. And it goes over very well, and everybody claps and stuff like that. But he notices the young lady, and she catches his eye. So he decides that he's gonna walk around and have a good time. And he walks back out. And when he walks back out, he notices, he gets greeted by the same squire for the guy with the apple sigil who was fighting earlier, and he meets up with him.
And that lady's name that was oratoric in the
being an orator.
Lady Tans.
Okay, that's Lady Tans. I figured that's who that is, and she's gonna definitely come back
later on
in the next few episodes as a huge plot point that happens and kind of changes Dunk's his trajectory as far as what happens in his life. Something very significant is going to happen with her for Dunk a little bit later. But
now, did they say the squire's name?
I forgot the squire's name. I think he introduced himself. I didn't catch it. I was trying to watch this real quick so I could come back and do this, do the review with you. But I definitely am gonna do another episode, do another review so I could really take note of all of the names of these knights and squires, because they definitely because of the house names, they're significant to know, where these houses were and people in these houses and what they were doing around this time, 90 years before Game of Thrones, the situation of Game of Thrones started. But he sees the Hedge Knight, and I guess in a little bit of an apology of trying to get him to fight his older brother, who he squires for, he brings him to the Baratheon pavilion, which is done up real crazy fancy.
Lion Baratheon.
Exactly. I thought his name was Lionel or something like
that.
Lionel Baratheon. And he has
the Laughing Storm.
The Laughing Storm, exactly. He's known as the Laughing Storm. Very eccentric kind of guy. His deer antler all over the whole entire place.
Dude, that's what they were like extreme. I'm like, wow, that's a lot.
Deer antlers. I was just like, yo,
a bit much.
It's a bit much. It was all over the place, bro. All over the place. So he brings him into the tent. He said, "Hey, are you hungry?" And he's like, "I can eat. I'm always hungry. I'm always hungry." That's what he said. He's like, yes. You 7 foot tall, you always hungry, bro. So he brings him in there, and people are laughing and listening to music and eating and what like that, basically. And Lionel Baratheon is sitting up at the front table, and he's telling a story about the first joust and how the first joust happened right here in this place of Ashford, and how basically it was a very, special moment and occasion, and it's a sense of pride, basically, to take part in the tournament, in the joust. And so, he gets noticed, of course, being basically a head taller than everybody else in the whole entire room. You know what I'm saying? He gets noticed, but he sits down. He gets one of those big Disney World turkey legs, basically, and he's going to town.
Ooh, I want one.
I want one right now. Picks up a sweet cake. He's having the time of his life. He's drinking. He's eating. He's having a good time. And then the Lionel Baratheon sees him and calls him over to his table. And he comes over to the table and he introduces himself. And they're basically kind of just basically like, yeah, whatever. You didn't listen to the Hedge Knight or whatever like that, basically. But Lionel Baratheon doesn't basically completely put him down. He kind of looks at him, kind of like, Chad's like, how you feel like you're gonna actually, you're gonna do something out here? What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So this basically kind of goes into the night. They start dancing, and then you find Lionel and him out on the dance floor dancing, and Lionel's kind of challenge him, kind of dance, kind of like a dance,
like a little dance off. Is that what we're doing now?
try to stop, like you could stop my foot, like look like that. So they stopping on each other's feet or like that, you know. And Dunk is showing that he got some moves, you know what I'm saying? He's kind of quick on his feet. He's not slow. He's big, but he's not slow. He can move around. So he kind of earns Lionel's respect. You know what I'm saying? And they become friends. They become friends. You know what I'm saying?
Within that 60 minutes to 2 hours.
2 hours. Because Lionel's done by the end of the night. My man drank all the wine.
Deja vu.
All the wine.
Deja vu. What movie did you see something like that in? You'll never get it. Think about that. It's not Game of Thrones.
Go ahead. No, I'm about to think about that one, but go ahead.
You ready?
Yeah.
Hustle and Flow, Ludacris, Terrence Howard.
Ludacris and Terrence Howard when they meet up in the club in the bathroom.
No, excuse me.
You're right.
When they first meet
in
the club at the table.
Right.
Ludacris is at the head of the table. He is he playing the character. What's the character he's playing?
I forgot the name. I forgot the name.
Skinny Black.
Skinny Black.
Is it Skinny Black? It is. I think it is. Anyway, it's the same. It gave me that vibe.
Give me 2 seconds. I gotta find out the name. Seriously crazy. His name was Skinny Black for real. His name was Skinny Black. That is a crazy stage name, bro. That's a crazy stage name. Skinny Black. Coming to the stage.
Skinny Black.
What? Skinny Black.
Thing, like it's dark. They had this big head table and then they end up dancing. And then later on, after they get drunk, they end up being friends and talking while drunk. Is that not the same thing?
Yes.
With Lionel,
they was slizzard, plain and simple. They was slizzard, just talking like, yo, it was low eyes and everything. And you know what I'm saying? Oh, one thing too. I missed the part. When Dunk gets called over to Lionel's table the first time, what Lionel says to him first was just like, yo, you the tallest one in here. Why you stooping your shoulders and stuff like that? If you tall, God bless you to be tall. The God's blessed you to be tall. Be tall, bro. Don't be stooping your shoulders all hung over. And so I was just like, I'm glad there was somebody to pour into him a little bit. Like, yo, carry yourself the way you are, man. Because people pick up on that. People are gonna stun you. Like people gonna stun you for stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And he was a legendary knight, by the way, and the father of Stephen Baratheon, who was the father of the three brothers, which was
Robert,
Stannis, and
Renly.
Renly.
Right, exactly. So he's the great grandfather.
He was significant. He was very significant.
Exactly. So after the night, he has a good night, basically, and hangs out with the king a little bit, or not the king, but hangs out with the Lord until the night, and basically they just commiserating over, he's just like, I don't know how I'm gonna win, and he's just like, hey, you just basically gotta go in there, and you put yourself on the line and just do your best, and whatever the outcome comes, it is what it is, and you basically earned honor by standing up and being there. And that's basically what it comes out to. So afterwards, he decides to, leave the tent. He goes back outside and he actually runs into Sir Mumford from the Dondarrion house that he needs to basically vouch for him the next morning. But
he's a complete jerk.
He's a bit of a dick. He's a dick. He's basically just like, what I'm saying? He's just like, I don't remember him. He's just like, there's a lot of knights who took wounds for my family.
That's why Daenerys said, I'm going to break the wheel.
Exactly. He's just like, I don't remember every single knight that takes a wound for my family. And so basically, and he goes off, and he's like, Dunk's like, all right, I'm gonna holler at you in the morning then. So he was like, all right, I'm gonna holler at you in the morning, because obviously you're not in the right frame of mind right now. Yeah, so I'm gonna let you go off and do your thing, basically. but I'm gonna holler at you in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So Dunk goes off and he heads back to his camp. And when he gets back to his camp, he finds the little boy basically just
sitting at his fire,
chilling.
Just
he made
chilling.
a fire. He got some fish. He got some fish on the grill. I was like, God damn, he done washed his clothes. He got the horses chilled. The horses all, are chilling right over there, basically. And he's just like, yo, I did all the stuff for you, man. You know what I'm saying? And he's just like, yo, what are you doing in my camp? He's just like, I did everything you needed to be done. I did all the squire things. I did all the squire things.
Because basically, I'm smarter than you. Oh, deja vu. Who does that remind you of? The big strong knight and the smart little esquire or whatever.
Tyrion, what's his name? Tyrion and Bronn?
Tyrion and who?
Tyrion and Bronn? I don't know.
Tyrion and Jorah Mormont.
Tyrion and Jorah Mormont. There you go. The small guy, big fighter. Exactly.
I may be trying to get with you and hang out with you, but I am still smarter than you.
I'm still smarter than you.
I got this whole thing already set up.
Exactly. I got this whole thing set up. I mean, you don't want this fish? I mean, I got it. He's like, hey, it is what it is. So he has a whole thing set up. He calls himself, he asks him, he's like, yeah. So the kid asks him, what's his name? And he says his name is Sir Dunk. He's just like, what kind of name is Sir Dunk? Is that short for Duncan? And he's like, yeah, I'm Sir Duncan the Tall. You know what I'm saying? So boom, he gets his name. There you go. He gets his name, and the boy introduced himself.
The name is official.
Exactly. Name is official. So he names him. The kid introduced himself as Egg. So he says, he's called. So he said you call him Egg. So basically, Dunk says, kid, I'll take you on as a squire. I can't pay you nothing. And we probably gonna be sleeping up underneath hedges, you know what I'm saying? But I could teach you everything I know. He gave him basically the same deal as Sir Arlen gave him.
The exact same thing.
Exact same deal. And Eggs is like, all right, deal.
He even told him that he won't beat him if he ain't deserve it.
Exactly. He is like, I'm not gonna beat you unless you deserve it. Unless you deserve it. He was like, okay, you can get a better deal than that.
Put your hands on me if you want to.
You know what I'm saying? You can't
put your hands on me if you want to, bro.
He ain't the one. But I mean, hey, he threatens a lot. But at the same time, he don't put his hand. He didn't put his hands on them. You know what I'm saying? So Dunk promises to take him on and treat him well, and he becomes a squire. And so they decide to basically lay. He's just like, hey, I would have set up your pavilion or your tent for you, but I didn't see one. And he said, I ain't got one. He's like, so where you going? He's like, I'm gonna sleep underneath that tree. He was like, trees leak. He's just like, hey, the tree is what we got. What you want to do? The tree's what we got, son. What you want to do? So they decide to lay down for the night underneath the tree. And while they're looking up at the stars, they see a green shooting star going through the sky. And Egg tells him that basically it's good luck for anybody who saw it. He's just like, all right. So basically, he basically takes it as a good luck moment for them for the days to come. And that's the end of the episode. So, what did you think of the episode? It's an introductory episode for a new season. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm excited. Number one, I'm super excited because I got some real quality television on. It's well produced. The actors are decent. Yep. The script is decent.
Yep.
I know the story already, so I'm super excited to see how it plays out in cinema. I love it, and I love it for a different spin. It's a little lighter. It's a little lighter of a touch. You're not like Battle. I don't expect to see Battle of the Bastards come out of this series.
Exactly.
But they're gonna have some great action scenes. I'm thinking it's gonna go about eight episodes a season. What you think?
Due to the fact that it's a novella, It's funny because I just watched the show His and Hers with my wife, and we were both just saying that what, we liked that it was only 6 episodes, because it wasn't like a long drawn out season, but 6 was good enough to give you what you needed for that story. Due to the fact that this is coming from a novella, I think that they would have to pack a lot of things in it to make it an 8 episode season. So if they made it 6, I wouldn't even be mad. But I'd say that they could do 8. I could say they could do 8 episodes out of this, especially with it being a half an hour.
And 6 ain't bad either, because they got a lot. They still got a lot to get to. It depends on how they work this. I don't want them to end up stretching it out to where it's long and drawn out. Like I think the scene with the little squire got a little drawn out a little bit. But it still was very, very necessary. A lot of great info. I love the way they put it together. A little spoiler alert: the shooting star in the tree going to end up being Duncan. I think Duncan is going. No, not I think. I know that Duncan is going to take it on in his sigil for it to be painted on his shield.
Absolutely.
So that's very important to remember that shooting star, and then when you'll see that again.
Exactly. And I just looked back to see how long was the season for House of the Dragon. It was pretty much 10 episodes. The first season was 10 episodes.
It did 10. Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of like Game of Thrones then.
Yeah. So let me see. The second season only had 8 episodes in the second season of House of the Dragon. So I could see them, especially with this being half an hour episodes, roughly half an hour, 38, 40 minutes, whatever they basically decide to do. I could see them basically doing like a 6 to 8 episode season because you don't want to drag it out and make it long for no reason. It's basically a tourney. The tourney only happens maybe over 3-4 days, maybe. I don't think that they could basically stretch it out too long. Tomorrow,
you ain't lying. They already there. They already had the 20.
Yeah, he got the 20 like 10 minutes into the show.
I think they would have did better doing a whole episode on just Dunk before this time that he spent with Sir Alice. I keep mispronouncing his name.
Arlen Pennytree.
Because they had a little bit of some great adventures and time that he took them to different places, and just the time that he spent teaching them. But I guess they're gonna do that in flashbacks,
as they did throughout the episode. They had like several flashbacks of basically interactions with Sir Arlen. Basically, I think that I completely agree with you. They would have probably been better served doing at least the first episode with just him and Sir Arlen, and Sir Arlen maybe giving them a little bit of sage wisdom or what like that, and then Arlen dies at the end of the first episode. And then
I would have liked
he buries him in the second episode.
And even if they wanted to start using the boy, they could have made him meet the boy at the end of the first one,
right?
Or something like that.
Exactly. That would have been perfect. Exactly. I think that would have been cool. But hey, they did it. They gonna do what they gonna do
now, right?
We're here now. We're already there. He's his squire. You know what I'm saying?
And they at the damn tournament.
At the tournament. So I assume the next episode is going to basically go over legitimizing Dunk. With somebody vouching for him, be it the not Mormont. What's the dude's name? Marin, whatever his name was. Manfred from the Dondarrion house.
And they have to see. We have to see our first Targaryen next episode, correct?
Oh, absolutely. If not,
now I'm not talking about the drunken boy.
Exactly. The other brother. Who? What's the name of the other?
Three or four of them going to come, I think.
Because by the end, the fourth one is going to come, who is actually the heir to the throne. He's going to be there by the end of by the end of this book.
I thought he comes at the very beginning, because there are stories where Dunk actually meets think his name is Baelor.
That's what I'm
the
thinking
hand.
about.
He's the
Breakspear.
hand of the king. And he is also the heir to the throne.
Yeah,
He's
Barry
the
Law.
hand of the king and heir to the throne.
And he
His
comes in pretty
name,
much towards the end.
yes.
I
Yes,
thought
his name is Baelor. Baelor.
Yes, he
Yep.
comes in towards the end. So that's 4 Targaryens that we'll see during the season. So at the very least, we should see at least maybe 2 others: the drunk one and another one who basically is the main antagonist for this book, pretty much.
Yeah.
We should probably get introduced. So I'm assuming that we're going to get a little bit of the tourney tomorrow in the next episode, along with some introductions to other people, and a little bit more of a legitimization, if that's a word, of Dunk, and just a little bit more getting to know Egg and him and Dunk, basically, making their connections.
And just for a complete link to kind of link the 2 stories together, basically, House of the Dragons is covering the whole life of Jaehaerys, the first kids, where he had Viserys succeeded him over Rhaenyra. Over Rhaenyra, the queen who never was, and Viserys only succeeded him because it had to been. They declared that it had to been a male heir, and he messed that whole thing up by his next successor was going to be his daughter. So didn't even let a whole generation pass.
Well, the king before that basically was the one who really messed that up, basically, because he could have picked his sister as the new queen, but he decided to go with his oldest male heir, which was his grandson or whatever like that, or his nephew or something like that, or grandnephew.
Yeah, it was his grandson. But the thing was, he went and had the whole country come in. He got 100 people together, and they all met. It was a great.
What was they call it?
I can't Great Council.
Right. Okay.
And the Great Council decided that it was going to be a male, and because at the time, if a female was an heir, she can marry, and then it would be passed to her husband.
Right.
And they wanted to keep it Targaryen. So that's why the Great Council said, no, it's got to be a male, whatever. And that's how Viserys got it. And then when Viserys didn't have a son, he named his daughter rather than Daemon.
Exactly.
If he'd have named Daemon, none of that stuff would have happened.
He could have named his brother as the heir. Exactly. But he names his daughter. And then basically he passes away.
Still have all the dragons and all of that. But anyway, for those that don't know, at the end of House of the Dragons, most of the Targaryens and the dragons are dead.
By this time.
They then elect the Rhaenyra's oldest son, Aegon III, to be king.
Right.
He becomes king several down the line. His oldest son, Aegon, Viserys, his brother, who ran away to Essos. They brought him back from Essos. He becomes hand of the king to him, and then eventually he becomes king, and he have a son named Aegon IV. Aegon IV becomes Aegon the Unlikely, the Unworthy, because he has all these bastards, which includes one of the Blackfyres, and yada, yada, yada. His son, Daemon II becomes king, and Daemon II is the king in power at the time of this show.
Right.
He's the king during this show. And his oldest son is Baelor, who is his hand, and heir. Next son is Ares the first, and some daughters, Ales and Magar is the youngest, who is the father of Egg. So Egg is technically right now the grandson of the king.
I'm just trying to figure, okay.
He's the grandson of the king. So all of the Targaryens that we should see in this season should be either sons of the king or grandsons of the king.
Is this
granddaughters?
So is he? He's this Egg is basically going to be Aegon the Unlikely.
The Unlikely,
right? Correct. Because he's fourth in line.
Yes, he's the fourth of the fourth son of the fourth son, and he becomes Aegon the fifth.
Right. Exactly. Right. Who, just for backstory, just so you guys know, not exactly backstory, but why it's significant, why Aegon is significant, or this story is significant for the realm, is because basically he is the fourth son in line, which is basically he's the fourth son of the brother of the king. So his father basically agrees for him to basically go out and to do these things, be a squire for someone, so he can learn about the real world. Because honestly, all these kings are isolated in King's Landing, and they all have all kind of crazy psychological maladies and physical maladies and all kind of different things, and they are completely out of touch with their realm. So to allow Aegon to go out there and be amongst the real people, to understand and get some real world experience, it allows him to be a better ruler when his time comes. So that, and also Duncan the Tall, which obviously becomes they become a huge part in each other's life. They go on this journey together over the next couple of books, and soon to be other books, and how they basically the different situations that they come across and the different lessons that Aegon and Duncan learn from and bring to the rule that Aegon will have in the future. And also, I was saying before, basically, that that George R.R. Martin said he has several other stories that he has written for the Aegon, the Duncan Egg series, because several years get basically skipped in between the three books. So there's a lot of different things that happen.
And what happens after the third book?
Right. There's things that happen in the third book that basically before Egg even takes the throne, the Blackwater rebellions and all different kinds of things. His succession to the throne. I mean, there's lots of different. So you can milk a good, maybe say I don't know how many, but they could probably milk a good another 4 seasons. So they could probably make this a 7 season show if they wanted to. They could stretch this out if they really, really wanted to, especially only having 30-minute episodes. What?
Indeed. Them 30-minute episodes was fast.
More money.
More money.
More money. And like you and I were talking about before, we were just basically talking about House of Dragons, or Game of Thrones to House of Dragons to now Night of the Seven Kingdoms. The fact that it's a smaller scale show, they don't have to basically put up the kind of money that they put in into at least even the House of Dragons. Because I believe that probably House of Dragons probably costs more money.
That's what's probably killing them. Where am I going to get this money for the finale?
That scene in the cave with the dragons choosing their writers, bro, that scene probably blew the budget. It blew the budget. They said, we ain't got no more money.
More fire.
More
smoke. More dragons. Spin on spin.
Sir, do we need a dragon to cut off to bite off his leg? I need to see a leg. I want to see a leg drop on the floor. Get the special effects in here. I want to see a CGI dragon bite off a guy's leg, and I want to see a leg hit the floor.
I don't want to alarm you, but we're already $450,000 over budget.
That's it. That's it. What? That's an evening at Nobu for us. What? We were $5 million over budget for Game of Thrones. We got credit. We got credit. Don't worry about it. Go ahead and run that. We got credit. So do we have enough left for the last episode with the dragon on the beach?
That's all I care about.
Yes, we have enough money for the dragon on the beach.
Run it.
But only 10 seconds worth.
Run it.
I'll take it.
Run it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So they could really, really do this Night of the Seven Kingdoms for like 7 seasons if they want to.
How much you think that episode cost just now? The one they just did.
Cast and crew, including no special effects needed.
Zero.
They needed no special effects. I mean, the only special effects they might have needed was like makeup and some stuff, because they didn't really show no wounds, no kind of crazy things. That whole episode, I'm saying, cost no more than probably 500,000, maybe 8, because of right.
250.
But see, the problem is that people don't really understand how much the crew and the cast basically really make up out of there. So the crew and cast, I mean, to get the right cinematographer, you got to pay the different directors. And for Dunk and Egg, maybe they're making about 500 for the whole season.
An episode, yo.
They're probably pulling away. They're probably pulling about, I'm gonna say 25 grand per episode. Nah, not even 25. 10 grand.
Nobody's.
10 grand per episode, and that's 10 episodes. Maybe you come away with 80,000 for the season.
Yes,
it's the first season, so you can't basically break the bank on what's the name. That's why the best thing is to basically get these no name. Nobody knows these people. Nobody ever seen these actors before, because you could pay them. You could pay them bottom dollar.
And they did a great job, by the way. These no name dudes acting they butts off.
Next season, we go back to the negotiation table. Let's see how this season goes, and we'll go back to the negotiation table to see how much you're gonna get paid next season. But that, and you got all the crew and cast, the lighting, the costumes. That's why I'm just like, it's probably. I'm gonna say that they basically $800,000 for a season. That's nothing. It's nothing.
Indeed.
Yeah, HBO eats that. HBO eat that. They like, what? We spent that on the food last year. We spent that on the craft services last year, plain and simple. So I feel like it's gonna be I felt like it was a great episode for introduction. I like the fact that they didn't introduce the names immediately. When they started the episode, you kind of got to know them. You got to know them a little bit before you even got their names. Kind of place them in their own personalities before you actually even place names to them, because Sir Duncan the Tall and Aegon Targaryen, those are big names in Game of Thrones, basically. Well known because of the Dunk and Egg series, but basically just to get to know them before you get to know the names and place the names, you just basically kind of, really get to understand the insecurities of Duncan, of Dunk before, and kind of place that, he's not exactly welcome, but he doesn't care. He's here because he wants to be here. He wants to be a knight. He's always wanted to be a knight. And I think that was a really good introduction for him and placed him in the situation, in the place, the time that he's in. And I love the different characters. I loved the dance, the party scene with them basically in the Baratheon tent. Basically,
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that whole scene again.
That whole scene was dope. It was dope. They're dancing and they're just doing different things. Basically, they're just having fun on the dance floor. They're drinking. They're having fun with everybody. It's lots of different interesting scenes. I want to know what's good with the girl who was pretending to be the girl who was pretending to be dead with the stone eyes on her eyes, basically. And I'm just
I thought that was the girl that's gonna end up that did the play.
Oh, I thought it was another. Nah, I think that was a different chick. That was a different chick.
Okay.
I thought it was a different chick. I mean, watch it again. We'll see. We'll basically, review it, see if that's the situation. But I was just like, what kind of crazy what's the dude's name? What was the first king after Robert Baratheon? What was this? Joffrey. I was like, what kind of crazy Joffrey type request for the brothel is somebody basically making for a dead? I want the girl to look like she's dead. I'm like, what kind of craziness is going on here in this camp? And they was just like, sure, my lord, we'll do whatever you need, bro. And
whatever you wanted, my dude.
Basically playing him out there, and he's just like, listen, you don't gotta make fun of me. It's all right, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta play me. And so basically they was like, all right, my fault. You know what I'm saying? You come back, whatever. And so I liked the different people, the fact that they weren't. I mean, some of them were mean, and some of them were just like, hey, I'm just trying to do my job. You know what I'm saying? Be it the prostitutes that were there or the guy who was the master attorney who was just like, hey, I'm trying. I was playing with you. I was telling you about what's going to happen if we find out. I'm joking with you. I just want to know if you legitimate. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to know all that stuff. I just need to know if you're legitimate. I like
I love that. I love how they went down.
Placed everything, the introduction to the Targaryen Lord at the end, foreshadowing meeting him again because he told him that he dreamt about him. I like the different little things that they basically carried in. So I'm here for the next episode. I'm definitely gonna be tuning in for the next episode. Can't wait. I'll say this. 10 o'clock is way too damn late to be putting this show on. What the hell? What was airing at 9?
The NFL
on HBO.
The NFL had the TV on hold until after the last game finished.
I mean,
once
I
the
know
last game finished, then everybody else can go try to get some ratings.
Good game though. The Rams against Chicago.
Great game.
Into overtime. Great game. Great game.
Overtime.
Absolutely great. I mean, I did pick the Rams over Chicago. I personally
Chicago to win.
I wouldn't have minded if Chicago would have won, basically, but it just is what it is. And unfortunately, Caleb threw an interception basically to give the ball back to us, because they was flowing.
And for those that don't realize, when it comes to overtime, mostly the most experienced team wins.
That's what happens.
So you need to try to win it in regulation.
Keep playing defense, and sooner or later somebody's gonna make a mistake, and then you capitalize.
Yep.
Caleb
on top.
Caleb started buying his own brand, and then he threw it, and they were flowing way too easy. They were picking up first down after first down after first down, and the next thing you know, he was like, oh, I got this. Took the shot down the field. Interception. That's what it is. That's what it is. And hey, as the more experienced quarterback and coach, they wasn't going for the big chunk plays. They were just going first down, field goal. That's all we need. We don't need to take. I mean, they took some shots, but they weren't shots that basically was going to be double coverage, throwing into double coverage across your body all the way down 30 yards. They was just basically, hey, chunk. All right, let's try. No. All right, forget this foolishness. Kick the field goal. Let's go home. And that's what happened.
Home.
Kick the field goal. Let's go home.
I think they got it on hold till 10 o'clock, at least for the next 2 nights. Hey. So we'll see. Thank God there's some Game of Thrones on television, though.
Thank God there's some Game of Thrones back on television.
Do you think they're going to try to do House of Dragons and Night of Seven Kingdoms at the same time?
I was thinking about that, and I was just like, because I'm just like, okay, they only have 30-minute episodes. Well, let's say 30 minutes, however long the episodes are. Would you do Game of Thrones? Have they finished filming for the season. I don't even know. I'm gonna do a little
Let them
research.
tell it they finished filming.
Let them
I heard
tell it.
nothing yet. I heard no release. How you finish filming? Usually HBO, when they finish filming, they're ready to release. So I don't know what's going on. And last
Because
time I heard
HBO basically they are a professional production company where they could drop the first episode fully edited and everything like that while they're still editing the other episodes coming up, basically. So they could do it. It could be done at the same time. If I were them, I'd wait until Dunkin' Egg first season is done and then drop this name. And just keep Game of Thrones on your necks. Just keep Game of Thrones on your necks, son. Chokehold. Have all the HBO in a chokehold all day, every day. I'm not mad at it. Keep it popping. Absolutely.
Keep it popping. I like that.
But yeah, everyone, thank you so much for coming through. Thank you, Drew Jams, for joining me, man. I really appreciate it. It's always a great time when I get to talk about great things with people I love and appreciate and admire, man. Drew Jams, you're a great man. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Anytime. Absolutely. I'm going to have you next week and the week after, man. We're going to come back and review every single episode of this whole entire series, Night of the Seven Kingdoms. This is Call Me the Comey World. Thank you again, guys, for coming through. Please go ahead, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification button so you know when I drop a new episode. Please just know this will definitely be a reoccurrence every single Sunday evening until this show is done. Since I haven't started reviewing the House of the Dragons before, I don't know if I'm going to do House of Dragons when it comes out for the third season, but we might decide to go ahead and do that. But we'll see how that goes, basically. But you know the time, you know the place. We'll be here next week, guys. Thank you so much for coming through. Please take care of yourselves. Please take care of one another. Jewel Jams, go ahead, tell people what you anything you got to say. Give your closing argument.
Yo, looking forward to an outstanding House of the Drag Night of the Seven Kingdoms series. This is gonna be dope. Thank you, Call Me McComey, for keeping me, for having me, and look forward to it.
Absolutely, every single time, bro. So till next time, everyone, take care of yourself, take care of one another. Please keep your head on a swivel. Get right. Keep yourself together, and may you always find absolute winter is coming. Damn. Truer words have never been said. Winter is coming. Till next time, take care of yourself, one another, and may you always find water and shade, guys. Peace.
Peace.